Welcome to the Mystic Media channel. I'm your host, Rabina Rastavan, aka the Realist Astrologer. And I'm just doing this brief video tonight because I just wanted to clear up some misconceptions that a lot of people have concerning love and life in general. And I've had these same misconceptions, but the older I get, the more I realize that this is true, and the more I try to redirect myself from falling into the trap of falling in love and romance and all of that stuff. Now, while falling in love and romance and having romantic affairs is a beautiful thing, and it creates all these wonderful, magical feelings within you, that type of experience, that type of union, a lot of times it's fleeting, a lot of times it's not permanent, and a lot of times it's basically just a state of mind combined with emotions that can always change. So we really need to get away from the idea of being in a romantic relationship as if that's the ideal type of relationship. And basically I'm blaming the media and some of society's customs and mores that make us believe that if we're not in love, if we're not in this fulfilling relationship, if we're not married, then somehow, some way we are incomplete, and we have failed at relationships and have failed at that aspect of life. But I just wanted to put it out there that the purpose of life is not to be in love or to find that one, to find the ideal mate. The purpose of life is for us to grow and to learn. And if we happen to fall in love in the process, well, then that's all great. But if not, then that simply means that that experience is not necessary for our growth. So a lot of us come to this earth where we have to live out a lot of different experiences, but some of those experiences may not necessarily entail a traditional marriage, a romantic union, or a happily ever after type of relationship. So a lot of us are going to go through life experiencing a lot of pain and trauma and heartbreak in relationships, but that is for us to grow and for us to learn some things that we need to learn that probably tripped us up in past lifetimes. So a lot of that deals with the energy you're working with in your chart, in particular your North Node and your South Node. So take a look at your North Node and your South Node, including the aspects that is forming and the house positions, so that you could get an idea of the type of lessons that you need to learn in this lifetime. A lot of the lessons that we need to learn will come through our relationships, because it is through our relationships that we learn about those aspects of ourselves that we either suppress or that we deny within ourselves. So that relationship basically is dealing with the seventh house. That is basically reflecting back on us those traits and those characteristics that are already within us, but that, like I said, we either suppress or we either deny and project outward. So just know that relationships, marriage, they're often opportunities for growth and learning, not necessarily meant for you to just have this great time and for you to get exactly what you want in a mate. Another thing we tend to do is we tend to choose a mate, and if that mate doesn't live up to our standards, then we think that something's wrong with that mate. We think that they're being uncompromising or uncooperative, where we're not remembering that this person is a distinct individual with their own needs, their own inclinations, and their own desires. So that's the purpose of Libra and the seventh house. It's all about balance. It's all about give and take. And we really need to check ourselves when we try to mold someone into our own image, because that will never be the case. We will never get exactly what we want. And it's not supposed to be that way, because if we got exactly what we wanted, then we wouldn't be able to grow. So when you put a synastry chart together, if you see squares and oppositions and semi-squares and all that, sometimes those challenging aspects are actually what is needed for you to grow while you are within that relationship. Yeah, granted, if there is a preponderance of challenging aspects and they outweigh the positive, there's a good chance that the two of you won't be together long term. or that, you're going to break up eventually or there'll be a divorce. However, just know that that relationship was required in order for you to grow and to evolve spiritually. So just keep that in mind with respect to relationships and marriage. It's not about what you really want. It's about what you need. So let me know what you think in the comments section. And if you would like a reading, just go to my website at rabina.com. Peace and many blessings.